Gonna put your lighters up. Oh no, no, put your lighters up. No, no, put your lighters up. Hey, we are back. Now I'm gonna talk about a couple things, you know what I'm saying? We finna talk about these abilities and synchronicities and everything and whatnot. I'm gonna start off with the one that happened today. Alright, when I was at work. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog song, and what's so crazy about that, I'm about to tell y'all this is how this multi-dimensional ish work. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to explain to y'all how it works, okay? I was thinking about that in my head because I don't know why it randomly came to my head. I was literally in the back room by myself. I was in the back room by myself, and next thing you know, like, my brain just started playing Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog in my head. And I remember at my grandma's house, she had the frog. She had the frog, right? She had the frog, like the cookie jar frog, right? And when you open up the mouth of the frog, it would play Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog. Dun, dun, dun. That was in my head while I was at work. Like, I was literally standing in the back room. I was putting stuff on the cart. And then, you know, that just, like, I was just sitting there, and it just came to my head. And I was like, yeah, I remember that. That's wild. And then literally, I kid you not, never heard this song on the radio ever at work. Never heard this song on the radio ever. It has never played, and I never heard it on the radio ever while I was at work. Literally 2 or 3 minutes later, I'm in the back room by myself. Next thing I hear on the speakers, Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog. Dun, 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 on Everything I Love. Now y'all put 2 and 2 together with that one. Y'all just put 2. If it don't click now, it will click later. Alright, there's another situation that happened last Sunday. Yeah, not this past Sunday that just passed, but the last Sunday, the Sunday before that. You know what I'm saying? I was at work once again. I was at work. You know how in the Matrix when they say when you go into a store or a mall or whatever, you can feel it, you can see the simulation, you can feel, okay. I was chilling on the cereal aisle. I was working on the cereal aisle. I was doing Top Stock, right? And in my head, I was thinking about like soccer because my first love of sports, the first sport that I ever fell in love with was soccer. Like, and I was really good at it. Like, I was like one of the coldest. Like, where I live at, it wasn't that too many like black dudes that played soccer. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that many people of my skin complexion as I was growing up that was playing soccer like that. There was probably like me, and there was another dude named Jason. Now, when it comes to this situation, let me get back on topic. I was at work, I was doing Top Stock, and then for some reason I was just thinking about how much I love soccer or whatever, like how much I liked it. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking about basically that, like how cold I was when I was young when it came to soccer, right? Next thing you know, literally, I can't even tell you what time did this happen. Like, it was maybe about like 30 seconds later, maybe a minute later, 2 minutes later. Didn't really keep up with that, but I know I was thinking about this in my head, in my brain. I was thinking about it. I was actually talking to myself. Next thing you know, 2 minutes later, 1 minute later or whatever, it was very quick. I seen a white dude, blonde hair. He had on a soccer jersey. Literally, I was thinking about this in my head. I was really kind of still talking about it to myself in my head. Literally, a white boy walks across the aisle. Like, you know how somebody walks past the aisle? He walks past the aisle. I look at him. He got on a soccer shirt. And I can tell you exactly what color was that soccer shirt. It was like a beige brownish, like, you know, beige tan color soccer jersey, whatever, with a black collar. He walked past, he looked straight at me, and I looked straight at him. We even made eye contact. It was the most weirdest thing ever because in my head, I was thinking about soccer. Wow, that's when I knew. That's when I have so many confirmations about my abilities that it's not even I can't lie about what I have experienced, right? There's another thing too I'm gonna talk about. When it comes to Epstein Island, right? I remember I said, and I'm gonna tell y'all a little thing right now. I said I'm gonna keep it Red Fox hit them folks like hot spot. Niggas playing mind games because they know I'm top notch. Epstein Island used to be called Fox Island, right? So it's like I picked up on that energy energetically. I pick up on energies energetically. You get what I'm saying? Either somebody playing in my energy, don't want me to know something, or like, you feel me? Okay, there's another thing to this. Not only that, in my special song, first of all, that one song that I just mentioned those lyrics from, it came from the Unorthodox song that I did. You can go look at that music video on my channel, everything. And it's so crazy how it was called Fox Island, and I was in a bathtub in that video in some water. You get what I'm saying? I energetically, either I will say something or energetically do something or throw a clip or something. That's how it is. It's just I energetically know. So nothing can really get past me for real like that. Even the underlying jokingly stuff that people say about me and whatever, like, it doesn't really get past me. Sometimes I don't even acknowledge it. Like, I'll be like literally smiling in your face or something, acting like I don't know what you're doing or know what you're saying. Because I didn't acknowledge it, that doesn't mean I didn't pick up on it. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. So, not only that, when it comes to my special video I did, right? That was on a island. Go back and look at my special video, a special music video I did, Jay Rashad special. I was on a island in that video. This also predicts them offshore accounts that people steal money from people and put it in an offshore account. You get what I'm saying? Steal money from the innocent and put them in offshore accounts so they don't know about it, so they can just go on them offshore accounts and pull money off. Because you ain't supposed to know that. Like, that's something you ain't supposed to know. Another thing too, when it comes to dreams, right? I'm gonna tell you about a dream I had. This literally happened to me about a couple of days ago. I don't know where I was at in this dream. I don't know where I was at. All I know, it looked like kind of like a school setting, but it wasn't. It looked like apartment buildings, right? And it was a lot going on. It was real chaotic and everything. Like, it was just a lot going on. And all I did was I started running in the dream. I was running. But I was running through like sections of doors. And I just kept running one direction. I just kept running like in one direction. And I kept going through the doors. Like it was like a Mirror's Edge video game or something. Like I was running through the doors. When I got to the final door, I came out to like a field. It was like a field, and then it was like a building. I don't know what type of building this was. I was just running towards it, and I looked to the left. I see a police car. It would look like you know what I'm saying, like just a regular, like you couldn't tell it was a police. You knew it was a police car, but it didn't have nothing on it. It was just a black SUV. But I was running. I see the police vehicle, right? It looked like the president would be in it or something like that. I seen it. I looked, and I was like, "Oh snap!" And I just kept running. And then it flashed its lights. It flashed it. It flashed its lights, right? And I just kept running. towards whatever this building was, but then it looked like it was some like a scientist on the bit, like on the like whatever the platform was of that building, whatever. And then he started running back and he said some hit the fence or something like that. Hit the fence or whatever. Next thing you know, like I see the police car. The police car never moved. But then like a electric fence came up in front of the building, and what I was gonna do, I was gonna grab onto the fence and hop over. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna let it raise me up and then I was gonna hop over that mug. But like when I tried to grab it, it shot me, and then next thing you know, I woke up. There's something to that. I'm not even gonna cap to you. I know there's something to that. There's definitely something to that situation in my dream that is real specific to a whole situation. Cause I don't know where I was at. It was just like these small, like it looked like I was just running through these doors of these like abandoned, like I don't want to call them Section 8 buildings, but it was buildings that it was like apartment buildings. So it was something like that, but it didn't have nothing in them. It was just like, it looked muddy, it looked like gritty, and I was running through them. And then next thing you know, I get to the final end and there was a big old field, and then I kept running. I looked to the left, there was like the SUV, the police, the unmarked police car, basically. The unmarked police truck, basically. I look to the side, I see it flash its lights, and I kept running. It never moved, and I just kept running. And then as you know, I see the building. Couldn't really make out what was like really happening. I just wanted to get out of whatever that situation was. And then it pulled, and then it said, then the scientist was like, pull the fence, and you just see like people running. You see like the scientists turn around and run. It looked like a Mirror's Edge video game, for real. And then next thing you know, the fence came up, and I tried to grab onto it as it was like coming up out the ground, and I grabbed onto the fence, and then it shocked me, and then I woke up. That really happened. Now, there's two intuitive stories that happened to me in real life, right? That just falls right in place with this, right? I'm gonna tell you, I was chilling in a car one time with a female, and we were smoking. I had this gut feeling. Like the police was gonna pull up. Like I just kept having this gut feeling. I didn't know when, but I just kept having this feeling like the police gonna pull up. Like, and it wasn't like I was making that happen. It just something didn't feel right. And we was just chilling. We was sitting there. And after we got done smoking, thank God. After we got done smoking, we was sitting there, and the next thing you know, literally 5 minutes later, after I think like it was, well, really after we got through smoking, like 5 minutes later, couldn't really tell you the time because time don't really exist for real. Only divine timing exists. You know what I'm saying? So 5 minutes later, boom, blue lights right behind me. I intuitively knew, and by the way, I was high off weed. I never did any other psychedelics or drugs or anything like that. Never in my life. And I just had that intuitive gut feeling like, yeah, something's up. You know what I'm saying? And that happened. That's one of my intuitive like abilities. Whenever I just knew something was up. Okay, there's another time when I was in college in Texas, right? I had let my girl around the time drive my car, right? I had let her drive my car. You know what I'm saying? She was supposed to put gas in it or whatever. She put gas in it. And then she called me later on that night talking about my car won't crank. Next thing you know, I had to catch a ride up to wherever she was. It was like 30 minutes down the road, whatever. I met her where she was at, and I started checking things, right? I started kind of checking things, and I wondered like, hey, how come my car won't crank? And like how like it was just like done. Like it was just done. And next thing you know, like, I don't know, something in my head, and then I really be listening. to like my inner guidance when it comes to this. It's really inner divine guidance. Whenever even before I even knew, this was before I even knew I had this type of going on. And the next thing you know, I said, "What type of gas you put?" I said, "Was the handle black or green?" She said, "I think it was green." I said, "Oh." I said, "You put diesel in my shit." And she didn't know. She told me that, you know what I'm saying, like the girl I had, she wasn't from America originally. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole different subject, and I can laugh about it now. But I'm speaking on this because I'm showing you how it works. Okay? Let me see. Do I have another situation that happened that I can remember right now? I think I hit every point that I needed to hit when it comes to how this really honestly works. You feel me? Like, that's how your intuition works. And then when it comes to dreams have meanings, right? And it comes through in the most weirdest way. Somebody can like tell you something that you already picked up on, like later on, like that day or like a couple days later, depending on how powerful your energy really is. I'm gonna tell you another story about what happened to me when I did connect with my divinity and everything. Like, it was the most, it was really like crazy, because it was a lot of emotion that happened at once because of the what I was in, the emotional state I was in. I was able to relax. Like, this around time I was still smoking and everything. You know, that helped me meditate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, of course, that helped me meditate. I remember after I connected with my divinity, I think it was like one of the days where I was I got up out the bed, and I think I just like got on one knee and I just started like crying. Like, I started bawling, bro. I started crying. I said, "Forgive them, God, for what they don't know." You know what I'm saying? Like, I was really thanking God in that moment in time, because it was a lot of feelings and emotions that like collided all into one, and I knew exactly like what I was feeling, and it was God. Like, what I was like feeling in that moment in time, it was God. Like, He was always there, but in that moment, it's like, have you ever felt like it was like a hug that you never really felt before, when it comes like a hug that you can't see, and it was the most emotional time and emotional feeling I have ever felt. But it was like I was on one knee like Kaepernick, like, and I was like messed up. Like, I wasn't messed up in a bad way, I was messed up in a good way, because it really shows you how powerful God really is, and what He'll really show you who you are if you just pay attention. You know what I'm saying? And He'll just show you who you are if you just pay attention. That's all I can say about it. Like, when it comes to what I be talking about and everything like that, it's like, it made me realize no matter what I did, just the journey through the unknown and not knowing exactly what you're doing, but there's a reason why you're doing it, and that's the place where you have to have that trust in God, is in the unknown. Because when you are in that, it's like testing your faith. You know what I'm saying? It's like testing your faith. That's the way I could put it. Ooh, in my faith video, that kitchen shot, that's where the frog was, the cookie jar frog. That's where that was, in my grandma's kitchen, and it's in my video on J. Rashad Faith. That video, that's where that cookie jar was at, right? It's wild, bro. It's just wild how you see how I multi-dimensionally just jump timelines like that. Like, this is real. This ain't for no. This is real life. This ain't no fake. This ain't no fake. I was like this when I wasn't sober, and I was like this when I am sober. It was never a difference. That didn't really hinder my abilities. I was just unaware of them. You get what I'm saying? People will call you a drug addict, people will call you promiscuous and all this other stuff because you stopped doing certain things or you created boundary for yourself. You get what I'm saying? When you create boundaries for yourself and you obey God over man or woman, no matter who or whoever, you start seeing things for what it is. You know what I'm saying? You start seeing things for what it is when you heal. And I've been learning all my life because I always been to myself. I always been a lone wolf. I always been to myself. I always been a lone wolf. I never really try to step on nobody's toes, but I'm always gonna defend myself what I need to defend myself. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot to it because it be a lot of things you gotta reflect on. You feel me? When it comes to your own existence and everything, just picking up the pieces and put yourself back together as a stronger person, a stronger woman, or a stronger man. It's a lot to it. It's a lot to it. You know what I'm saying? And everything you need to know about yourself, it requires the body. When it comes to energy, right? Everything is made up of energy. You know what I'm saying? That's what they don't want you to know. The government knows that it takes the people's energy to create chaos. They know that if we distract ourselves with their bull, then they have a hold on our minds. You get what I'm saying? Because the truth will be exposed about everything. It's just like this, right? You don't think them higher up people know your astrology? You don't think they have your social security, so they know your name, they know your birth date, they know all these things about you. So you don't think they can find out where your alignments are in your astrological chart and stuff like that, and find out this and that, and they have higher ups and stuff that know all these things about you, but you don't know these things about you. You're not supposed to. It's supposed to be it's so crazy how they distract people from really knowing who they are. And I'm never saying what you're doing in the current moment right now is not who you are. I never said that. I accept people for everybody for who they is, and that's just what it is. But I just be wanting people to love each other more and keep each other safe and everything like that, and just less jealousy, less envy, more like learning from each other and not trying to get one up on one another or make other people feel like they don't know what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has skills, everybody has abilities, everybody has something they can bring to the table. And if you don't, you will figure it out. But the thing is, connecting with God can help you figure that out. You know what I'm saying? Being isolated for a time period. You ain't got to be isolated all the time, but just, use your discernment of who you can be around and who you can't be around. You feel me? If you know you're not doing no wrong by nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all good. It's all good. You feel me? It's a lot to this. We finna go ahead and get up out of here. I think I said enough, for this video. And feel like we out, man. You know what I'm saying? We good. We good. I love y'all, bro. And what I can say is I love the people that hate me, and I love the people that love me. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no hard feelings over here. I ain't mad at you. I got one more thing to talk about, right? Sometimes when you do certain things, you trigger people. Like whenever you connect with your higher self and everything, and you start respecting yourself for the man that you are, the woman you are, you would trigger certain people that ain't to that level yet, right? And this reminds me of when I think of the word trigger. I remember New York rapper Nas. I think he rapped in that song like he was a gun, right? A gun has a trigger, right? And some things be in symbolism It's like doesn't necessarily mean that he needs a gun in real life. It's just he is the gun. So basically, I'm the gun. You get what I'm saying? Hold on. I got one more story now. When I was in college, when I went to Bevel, when I went to Bevel State, right? I remember I was in a history class, right? It's so crazy this moment in time. Like when I was in college around this time, I was like 18. Still unaware of what I'm picking up on and all that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't meant for me to know right then. But check this out. I did I think it was a history class, I'm pretty sure, because we had to do a project. I had to do a project. Or I had to do a speech on something. It was something like that. I had to do a project or a speech, something like that. So, not knowing around the time, I was learning about a lot of things. And I learned the project was on Babylon. Crazy, right? The project was on Babylon. Now, what's gonna even trip y'all out? Guess what album I was listening to around the same time I was doing this project? To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar. That album, I literally like, I think it was either before I started doing the project, like you know how you listen to some music or something like that before you start something, or it was either before or after. But I remember listening to the project because I had an HP laptop. And I had it sitting on my bed, and it had the songs playing in the background. I had the song, I had the album cover on the front of it. I can remember it like it was yesterday. It's kind of crazy. I remember I was doing the project on Babylon. I think I was maybe listening to the album in the background. Now, y'all put 2 and 2 together when it comes to that. I was listening to that album specifically in my history project. I was doing the project on Babylon. Now, y'all go and put 2 and 2 together when it comes to that. Because I remember that. That's the specific album I was listening to around that same time I was doing that project. Love y'all. See y'all in the next one, bro. I'm telling you.